Well, around here, between Normandy and Weston, we call this here a little twin. Wow.
Chris Tucker started to gain widespread popularity with his role as Smokey in the Friday franchise. His comedic flair became a thing, and he built a reputation as one of Hollywood's best comedians of the 90s. However, following the sequel of Friday, his fans were shocked, which left them disappointed, as Chris Tucker was nowhere to be found, removing a huge chunk of the film's original appeal. Since then, fans have been dying to find out the reason behind this sudden decision to take a step back from the production. Well, you will be shocked at the actual reason. Christopher Tucker was born on August 31, 1971 in Atlanta, Georgia, being the last among 6 siblings. His father, Norris Tucker, had an independent business which was a janitorial service, while his mother, Mary Louise, took care of the home and ensured the children were properly schooled. Tucker was raised around College Park and grew up within a highly African-American neighborhood. His early life instilled in him strength through bad times and his humor. As a child, Tucker was an outgoing kid, and one of the means through which he communicated with people included humor. Among some of his earliest comic influencers were Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, and Robin Harris, all 3 of whom made serious impressions on his own style. Tucker regularly did impressions and one-liners that kept his classmates and teachers laughing, showing a talent for comedy even then. After high school at Columbia, Tucker opted to live his dream and become a comedian. Thus, he moved to Los Angeles in pursuit of his career in comedy. The transition was not smooth, and besides his struggle trying to break into the industry, he had to get used to life away from home. But despite all the hardships, his charisma and determination soon paid off. Starting in Los Angeles, Tucker began doing stand-up at open mic nights in small clubs and quickly drew attention because of his energy and unusual high-pitched voice. He developed a comic style that mixed sharp observations on life with playful exaggeration. He gained attention with breakout performances at the Comedy Store, one of those famous venues responsible for the development of many iconic comics. Starting his career early in the 1990s, Tucker got this big break when he appeared on Def Comedy Jam, the staple for young black comedians at HBO. Tucker was the favorite of many fans, building himself a reputation as one of the most promising young comedians of his generation. This exposure brought in more opportunities, and he transitioned into acting. Tucker started small, coming into film roles in movies such as House Party 3 in 1994 and Panther in 1995. These movies gave Tucker an opportunity to get comfortable with the camera. However, his career-defining moment came in 1995 with the character Smokey in the comedy classic Friday. Conceived and directed by Gary Gray and written by Ice Cube and DJ Pooh, Friday was a movie about one South Central Los Angeles day in the life of 2 friends struggling to make it through the dangers facing them from all sides. The path to landing the role of Smokey was not a smooth one for Tucker. He reportedly did not do that well in the audition. Some of the producers doubted whether he could create such a character. However, Ice Cube believed in the unique comic vibes of Tucker and wanted him at least to be given an opportunity. As cameras rolled, it would turn out that Tucker's Smokey was going to be nothing short of a huge success. An always high, fast-talking hustler from the neighborhood was the perfect canvas for Tucker's improvisational skills and natural charisma. What was written in as a sidekick became, thanks to Tucker, the heart of the film. Tucker gave so much depth to Smokey, which was needed, by actually offering a balance between humor and genuine emotions. Be it through the few lines that really made the audience laugh, chaotic antics, or even the heartfelt moments of fear and loyalty, Tucker added a characteristically instinctive level of relatability in Smokey, which really made him unforgettable. Critics and audiences alike loved Tucker's performance, with many claiming he stole the show. Made on a small budget, Friday went on to become a hit, grossing more than $27 million at the box office and reaching iconic status in the years that would follow. Tucker's performance as Smokey was huge in the success of the movie, bringing him widespread acclaim and setting him right into reputation as a comedic actor. Chris Tucker's role in Friday marked an epoch in his career and comedy in general. Smokey was the kind of character who gained iconic status. Chris Tucker really left a mark on pop culture that would never be erased. The style of comedy he deployed here, physical humor intermingled with sharp wit and infectious energy, became new criteria for comic acting in films. With Smokey, Tucker caught the interest of a generation and personified the humor, struggles, and resilience of life in urban America. Across racial and cultural divides, his performance resonated to make Friday the instant classic that is to this day. Smokey's catchphrases and antics became part of popular culture, influencing a number of comedians and actors who followed in Tucker's footsteps. More importantly, through Friday, Tucker proved that he could hold attention and reach an audience on another level. The work he did in the movie opened the door for bigger opportunities that would later come along with blockbuster hits like Rush Hour, thus sealing his status as a Hollywood star. From coming in to audition for Friday with doubts, Tucker would turn Smokey into this larger-than-life character held dear in the hearts of fans worldwide. In this unforgettable portrayal, Tucker would not only elevate the film, but also make himself one of the dynamic comedic actors of his era. When the sequel Next Friday was released in the year 2000, those who enjoyed the first film, Friday, were prepared to get a bit more of those impressive antics that made the first film a touchstone among their generation. That was short-lived, though, once it came out that Chris Tucker was set not to return to the role of Smokey, the loud-mouthed sidekick that stole the show in the original film. Without Smokey, it just seemed like there was no way to fill that space, with many being let down by Tucker's choice not to return. Smokey had become synonymous with the success of Friday, and his dynamic interplay with Ice Cube's Craig had driven the heart of the film. While Next Friday brought in new characters and plot lines, fans simply couldn't help but feel the magic that made the original wasn't there without Tucker. Some disappointed fans started rumors as to why Tucker passed on reprising his iconic role for Next Friday. It wasn't until years later that the major reason for Tucker not returning for Next Friday was revealed to have been financial. Though Friday was a box office success, grossing more than $27 million off of its small budget of $3.5 million, the cast members didn't see a lot financially from the movie's success. At the time of filming, Tucker reportedly received just $10,000 for the character Smokey. In terms of finances, its stars were paid rather modestly for a film that would enjoy such huge success. When it came time to negotiate for Next Friday, Tucker was unwilling to settle for another low-paying role. By this time, his star power had grown considerably, and he started looking for lucrative offers from other projects. Coming back to the sequel Next Friday under similar financial terms was not going to be an option for Tucker, considering the success of the first film and all the chances that would have made him much more elsewhere. Right about the time the discussions for Next Friday were wrapping up, along came an offer that would change Tucker's life to star alongside Jackie Chan in the action comedy Rush Hour. Along with that offer came a check reportedly as high as $20 million, considered a record at the time for a comedic actor to get. This opportunity promised not only major financial benefits, but also a more complex concept for Tucker beyond Smokey's character. Tucker was fully aware of the possible perils of typecasting in Hollywood, where actors are continuously used for the same types of roles gleaned from their early successes. While Smokey was adored among his fans, Tucker knew he had to branch out and prove that he could do many other types of genres as well. By accepting the role in Rush Hour, Tucker proved he had the ambition to grow as an actor and to accept challenges in roles that would showcase his versatility. Tucker's decision to feature in Rush Hour and forgo Next Friday was a calculated career move. Of course, it didn't exactly please the fans of the Friday franchise, but it did create an avenue through which Tucker could break through as a leading man in Hollywood and open future doors. Finally released in 1998, Rush Hour paired Chris Tucker with Jackie Chan in a high-voltage action comedy that wedded martial arts to hilarious dialogue. The film followed the improbable pairing of Tucker's James Carter, a loud-mouthed, obnoxious LAPD detective, and Chan's Chief Inspector Lee, an implacable martial artist from Hong Kong. Teaming up to solve a case of kidnapping, their opposite personalities made comic moments unending. That role for Tucker in Rush Hour marked a very different direction he was able to take in a film, showing his ability to play comic support in an action-filled plot. Quick-witted and improvising at times, he meshed with Chan's physical comedy and martial arts skills to bring a chemistry on screen that was loved worldwide. Tucker had a great comedic take on Detective Carter and gave the movie its life force with an over-the-top personality. Rush Hour grossed well over $244 million worldwide, was a box office phenomenon, and enjoyed just universal critical acclaim. The film really cemented Tucker's status as a Hollywood icon, solidifying the franchise that many consider one of the most successful in action comedy film history. Following the success of Rush Hour, Tucker went on to reprise the role of James Carter in Rush Hour 2 in 2001 and Rush Hour 3 in 2007. Each sequel continued with more of the same formula, a mix of high-octane action mixed with endless humor. However, playing the character Smokey in the movie Friday remained one of the most defining moments in Tucker's career, even though Rush Hour made him a star worldwide. Smokey continued to be a continual culturally relatable icon, and Tucker's performance in that film resonates today with audiences long after this film was released. The humor, relatability, and memorable catchphrases from that character have really cemented Tucker's place in cinematic history. Given this, a decision not to return for the sequel next Friday disappointed fans. He actually furthered his career with projects that would showcase his range and confirm him as one of the most talented comedic actors of his generation. The comedian clearly delivered a way for audiences to connect on deep levels with him in such roles as Smokey and Detective James Carter. By prioritizing financial equity and artistic growth, Tucker charted a career path that balanced commercial success with creative fulfillment. As much as Friday's fans may have missed Smokey's presence in the latter sequels, Tucker's starring role in the original film and later Rush Hour cemented his place as a Hollywood favorite. Despite the great success and immense talent attributed to Chris Tucker's career, controversies still prevailed. Behind all the glitz and glamour of Hollywood, Tucker found himself surrounded by financial controversies, including one highly publicized tax problem because of poor management of his finances. Coupled with a prolonged hiatus from acting, these had to be the most challenging moments in Tucker's life. Still, his strength and resilience kept him going. Starting in the late 2000s and carrying over into the early 2010s, Chris Tucker was being served one bad document after another from lawyers. Reports of unpaid taxes to the IRS showed that Tucker owes an estimated total of some millions of dollars in back taxes, with estimates as high as $14 million for the total due. The problem was made highly public when the IRS issued a lien against him for the amount in question. However, it turned out that the tax controversy was greatly associated with mismanagement on the part of his financial team. During the height of his career, when Tucker's paychecks started to skyrocket with the filming of Rush Hour 2 and Rush Hour 3, the actor depended on a pool of financial advisors who were supposed to manage his earnings. Apart from the poor supervision coupled with questionable decisions, he had amassed so much debt that left Tucker in a very precarious financial situation. While Tucker was open about his financial issues, he still held on to the view that he was working his way out of the situation. In fact, for years, he struggled to try to pay off his debts through the sale of part of his assets and by negotiating with the IRS. In 2014, his representatives announced that he had paid his tax obligations, which meant that he was on his way back to his feet. Meanwhile, Tucker fought these difficulties while he was on hiatus from acting. He pretty much vanished off the big screens after Rush Hour 3 in 2007, and no one heard of Chris Tucker for quite a long period of time. While he did all this, Tucker reflected upon life, developed as a person, and found time to connect with his roots. Tucker himself referred to the hiatus as an intentional removal of himself from the pressures of the industry and a reassessment of where he was currently going in his career. At this point in time, everything he had gone through required priorities to be straightened out, he said, and more consideration given to faith. Tucker was a very religious Christian, and he said that his path with God was one of the biggest reasons he stepped away from the limelight. During his hiatus, Tucker would pop up now and then in supporting roles and went back onto the road as a stand-up comedian. His stand-up routines were full of his special brand of humor, reminding people why he really was one of the greatest comedians of all time. Tucker tried to change his reputation, solve his money problems, and ease his way into the spotlight. Over the past several years, Tucker has made indications that he will be returning to Hollywood. His roles in films like Silver Linings Playbook in 2012 did demonstrate his capabilities as an actor and perhaps a revitalized interest in the craft. But it was the announcement of Rush Hour 4 that really set tongues talking among followers. The highly awaited sequel of the popular Rush Hour franchise has been in the making for the past few years, with Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan all showing interest in returning for the film. Confirmation finally came from Tucker in 2018, highlighting the thrill that they are about to bring back to the screens. When the announcement came out that the two were getting back together, fans were overjoyed. The personalities that clicked in the Rush Hour films, being that of Tucker and Chan, represent one of the most acclaimed collaborations in action comedy history. News of the reunion for Rush Hour 4 has been received pretty well by fans, most of whom have been speculating about the plot of the film and a possible release date. For most, Rush Hour 4 means infinitely more than a sequel. It is the chance to see Tucker back in his rightful place in Hollywood, bringing back the energy that has terribly been missed. People are really eager to see him return to the genre which made him a star. The thrill of Rush Hour 4 serves also as a testament to the success of the franchise. More than 2 decades after the release of the very first film, the Rush Hour series is still a cultural phenomenon, where its humor, action, and memorable lines still echo among the masses. Of Tucker's iconic roles, the character Detective James Carter is undeniably one of them, and many fans are still hoping Rush Hour 4 captures the magic of the first film. Tucker's hiatus and the controversies prove that with success and fame come a lot of challenges. However, even the financial problems and disappearance from the limelight have not stopped Tucker from being strong and moving ahead to personal growth. Trying to settle his tax problems and trying to get back to his roots all show that he is determined to face adversity and come out even stronger. Fans believe that it is a bright future ahead for Tucker as he prepares to make a comeback with Rush Hour 4. Given his talent, charisma, and mainly because he is capable of making the audience laugh, he managed to be one of the favorite comic actors of his generation. It will be definitely exciting to see what the duo has in stock for the new movie. On the bright side of it all is the redemption of Chris Tucker. Through highs and lows, he has remained an adored figure in the entertainment world, and his comeback to the big screen will most likely reflect this. Fans are literally dying to see Tucker get back to work and prove once more why he is a Hollywood icon. As we wait for the official release date for Rush Hour 4, you can check out other videos in the channel and we will keep you updated on your favorite celebrities.